Robert Frost once wrote, "Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." Those words became a guiding principle for Robert Kiyosaki. Most people are taught to follow a familiar path: go to school, earn good grades, find a secure job, and work until retirement. But Kiyosaki challenges this idea. As a child, he had two father figures. His biological father was highly educated and held an important position in Hawaii's education system. His best friend's father had little formal education, but became one of the wealthiest businessmen in Hawaii. One struggled financially throughout life. The other built lasting wealth and left behind financial security for future generations. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was the way each man understood money.
Kiyosaki's financial education began in 1956. As a young boy, he wanted to learn how to become rich. After a failed attempt to make fake coins, his father admitted that he couldn't teach him about wealth and suggested he learn from his friend's father instead. Rich Dad believed that experience was a far better teacher than lectures. He hired Robert and Mike to work in one of his stores for a very small wage. Then, after they had become comfortable, he stopped paying them completely. At first, the boys were frustrated, but Rich Dad wanted them to stop thinking like employees and start thinking like entrepreneurs. Instead of depending on wages, they began searching for opportunities that other people overlooked. That simple shift changed the way they viewed money forever.
While working in the store, Robert and Mike noticed that unsold comic books were being thrown away after their covers were removed. They asked if they could keep the books instead. Using those discarded comics, they created a comic book library where neighborhood children paid a small fee to read them. Without constantly working for a paycheck, they had created a small business that generated income. This became Rich Dad's first major lesson. The rich do not work for money. They build systems and assets that allow money to work for them. Most people become trapped in what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. Fear of paying bills keeps them working, while the desire for more possessions encourages them to spend everything they earn. Breaking that cycle begins with changing the way you think about income. The next lesson was financial literacy. According to Rich Dad, it is not how much money you earn that determines your wealth. It is how much money you keep and how effectively that money works for you. He taught Robert one simple principle: know the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Many people spend years buying things they believe are assets when they are actually ongoing expenses. The wealthy focus on acquiring income-producing assets, such as businesses, investments, and rental properties. Over time, those assets generate cash flow that creates financial freedom. Building wealth is not about earning the biggest paycheck. It is about continuously increasing the assets that produce income. Rich Dad also taught that there is an important difference between your profession and your business. Your profession is the job you perform every day. Your business is the collection of assets you build outside of that job. Even while working as an employee, you should continue investing in assets that grow your wealth. Kiyosaki illustrates this idea through Ray Kroc, the man who built McDonald's into one of the world's largest companies. Although most people believed he was selling hamburgers, Kroc understood that his real business was owning valuable real estate beneath each restaurant. The restaurants generated cash flow, but the land created long-term wealth. The lesson is simple. Always focus on building assets that continue producing value long after today's work is finished. As wealth grows, taxes become another important consideration. Kiyosaki explains that many wealthy individuals use businesses and corporations because they offer legal ways to manage expenses before paying taxes. Employees typically earn income,
pay taxes first, and then spend what remains. Businesses often pay legitimate operating expenses before taxes are calculated. Understanding these financial rules allows people to preserve more of what they earn. Another key lesson is that financial intelligence creates opportunities. Kiyosaki shares examples of buying undervalued properties during market downturns and selling them for substantial profits. These opportunities were not based on luck. They came from education, preparation, and the willingness to recognize value where others only saw problems. Financial knowledge allows you to create opportunities instead of waiting for them.
One of the most valuable assets you possess is your mind. Kiyosaki believes that financial intelligence is often more powerful than money itself. People with the right knowledge can recognize opportunities that others completely overlook. During times of economic uncertainty, many people see only risk. Those with financial education often see opportunity. The ability to solve problems, negotiate deals, understand markets, and make informed decisions creates wealth far more consistently than simply working harder. Money follows value. The more valuable your knowledge becomes, the more opportunities you create for yourself. Investing in your financial education is one of the highest return investments you can ever make, because no market crash can take away what you know. Another lesson from Rich Dad is to work for learning rather than simply working for a paycheck. Early in his career, Kiyosaki intentionally accepted jobs that would teach him valuable skills. He joined the Marine Corps to develop leadership and discipline. Later, he worked in sales to overcome his fear of rejection and improve his communication skills. These experiences were more valuable than a higher salary because they expanded his abilities. Many people become specialists in one area. Kiyosaki encourages becoming a well-rounded learner. Understanding sales, communication, investing, accounting, leadership, and negotiation makes you far more adaptable and valuable throughout your life. The skills you develop today often become the opportunities you benefit from tomorrow.
Even people with financial knowledge face obstacles. Kiyosaki identifies fear, doubt, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance as some of the biggest barriers to building wealth. Fear of failure often prevents people from taking action. Cynicism causes them to focus only on risks instead of opportunities. Poor habits slowly undermine long-term progress. Arrogance prevents people from admitting what they still need to learn. The difference between successful people and everyone else is not that they never experience fear, it is that they learn to manage it. Every setback becomes a lesson instead of a reason to quit. Growth begins when you choose learning over comfort and action over hesitation.
Kiyosaki believes that building wealth begins with making a conscious decision every single day. Financial freedom does not happen by accident. It is created through consistent learning, disciplined investing, and a willingness to think differently from the crowd. He encourages people to develop a strong reason for becoming financially independent. When your purpose is clear, it becomes much easier to overcome fear, uncertainty, and temporary setbacks. He also reminds us that generosity plays an important role in wealth. People who continue learning, sharing knowledge, and creating value for others often receive greater opportunities in return. The more value you contribute, the more your financial opportunities expand. Lasting wealth is built on education, discipline, patience, and service, rather than luck alone.
The central message of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that financial freedom begins with changing the way you think about money. Build assets instead of collecting liabilities. Invest in knowledge before chasing income. Develop skills that increase your value. Use your job to learn while building businesses and investments that generate long-term cash flow. Remember that your greatest assets are your mind and your time.
Every financial decision you make is shaping your future. The money you earn can either be spent on temporary pleasures or invested to create lasting wealth. The choice belongs to you every single day. The habits you build today determine the financial life you will live tomorrow. That is the enduring lesson of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.